नमस्कार and a very good morning. Welcome to the audiocast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host in CAD and in the Banerjee. As risk sentiment is looking quite strong क्योंकि Asian equity markets are trading in the green. Asian currencies are flat. Dollar index is flat as well. But रात को US bond yields have pulled back higher from 2.88 to 2.9697 on the 10-year. और जो Brent crude है that has also recovered a bit from 110 all the way up to 113 plus. But none of these markets are immediately throwing any sign of red. But that's something we need to watch because agar bond yield starts to rise back above 3 and 305 and at the same time oil heads towards 120, then again the pressure will be back on the Indian rupee. RBI has done a phenomenal job by capping the rupee around 79, 20, 30 levels. But the job is not over क्योंकि upside pressure बरकरार रहेगा. Globally, the risk sentiment is not that strong. And अगर FPI flows का बात करें, which has a bigger impact on the Indian rupee, that is still negative. They have been consistently selling Indian assets, equity and bonds for months now. And even the past few days of July, they have been net sellers. Basically, a pressure is going to be on. And as we have pointed out before, low forward premium is a sign of concern because that also incentivizes reverse carry trade or also known as unwinding of carry trade. So एक तरफ FPI outflows which creates a demand for dollar in the cash market. दूसरे तरफ unwinding of carry trades or reverse carry which leads to demand for dollars in the derivatives market. Primarily offshore से होता है, but it has some onshore element to it and obviously it flows to the onshore market through the arbitrage channels क्योंकि अगर offshore में the hedge funds are buying dollars and unwinding their longs in the Indian rupee, that transmits through arbitrages in the onshore market in terms of demand for dollars. And third, low forward premium also disincentivizes exporter hedging, जो एक तरफ से supply को कम कर देता है in the derivatives market. So all in all, the RBI has to be quite aggressive in defending the Indian rupee. और जिस हिसाब से last एक हफ्ता में there have been a lot of commentary from the finance ministry of officials about the volatility in the Indian rupee. We believe RBI is going to be quite aggressive. But one thing that needs to be noted and pointed out is, in spite of Indian rupee at an all-time low against the USD, on a year-to-date basis or FYTD basis, Indian rupee remains a slight outperformer amongst its peers. मतलब Indian rupee के जो depreciation हुआ against the USD, which is either in line with what has happened with other major currencies in the world or in fact less than what has happened with other currencies in the world. So even in terms of volatility, Indian rupee is one of the least volatile currencies in the world. So Indian rupee is quite stable, and as we said, RBI has done a phenomenal job by intervening through all the instruments that it has and hiking rates at the right time. But the job is not over. They have to keep intervening because global environment remains challenging. जब तक flows are not reversing, especially FPI flows, that is going to be important because ये साल एक और component of capital flows which may face an issue is basically the ECB. जो external commercial borrowing होता है, last year there was phenomenal increase in the external commercial borrowing and that created massive inflow of dollars and the pressure on USD INR. But इस बार because the interest rates are rising around the world and जिसके कारण हो सकता है ECBs may not happen that way. Of course, Europe and in Japan, the interest rates are still either negative or zero. But still, we believe that we may not see that kind of an inflow as we saw last year. So ECB flows may decline. FPI flows are already in negative consistently since October of last year. So इसलिए वो जो capital flows चाहिए for Indian rupee to strengthen, that is still missing. And as we said, the carry traders are also shying away from the market. So that kind of support is also not there. Coming to how to play it, it's a buy on dips. Either you can play it through futures or through options. Futures में your stop loss have to be below 78.80 July futures on a daily closing basis. Resistance, actually there is none, because at an all-time high you don't find much resistance. Plus this is a place where the biggest seller remains RBI. So it's where the RBI basically draws a line, becomes the resistance. But you can say 79.30, 35 and 79.50, 55 could be possible resistance levels. So it's a buy on dips. Instead of doing short straddles and short strangles, it's advisable that you stick with short iron fly or short iron condor, because you will not be exposed to this unlimited risk if there is a sudden flare up in the prices. So coming to the cross currency, Euro INR or GBP INR may actually trade flat, or Yen INR may also remain range bound for the time being, because ये currencies में कुछ खास trigger है नहीं अभी, और euro dollar और pound dollar में जो weakness है, that is being offset by the strength in the USD INR. So इसके लिए cross INR में we may continue to see up and down price action, which is basically a range bound price action. So that's it, folks. This is Arindam Banerjee signing off. A fantastic day ahead.